Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. We are back once again. It is me screaming into the void of the internet. We're out here a bit earlier than we usually are, so I don't know how it's gonna look, but it's still nighttime, but it's like the sunlight is still here, so it's whatever. There was something that I've had on my mind because I was listening to like another guy. And, he's basically in a similar situation. Like, I do listen to a lot of, like, neat content creators and stuff like that. I don't really like to mention names because, unfortunately, because the neats don't have anything better to do, and this isn't me being an insult, this is just me being honest. Sometimes people just start drama because, they're like, man, life's crappy, so I want to laugh for a bit. So I'm not going to mention their names, but, he made a few videos about, like, jobs, and, one of his recent videos was, like, just his, like, anger and resentment towards, like, life. And in his opinion, like, he says, like, like, if there is a God, like, he doesn't give a rat's arse and stuff like that. And I kind of want to talk about a few things. Not in response to, like, just to that statement or anything. This isn't me, like, Christ forcing down your throat and stuff like that. This is really just me talking about a few things, for one. Number one, I want to say this right now, like, I do think that it is, and I've said this in several videos, I think it's absolutely insane to me that people who have objectively made awful decisions are getting help, and, like, guys who are actually trying to do the right thing get no help. How is it that a freaking woman can go out here, get pregnant, like, from 5 different dudes, and then, like, for each of those kids, she's getting, like, say, 500 in food stamps? Like, that's insane to me. How is it that a woman, literally just for having a vagina, can literally get, helped in a shelter, and they can put her on programs to, like, dang near guarantee that she gets a job, and meanwhile those kinds of programs don't exist for men? How is it that we reward all of these freaking criminals and stuff like that, and we give them chance after chances? There are jobs out here that are literally saying, oh, look, guys, we have a certain amount of, like, former criminals. You see, we're very inclusive. But all of the guys out here who are trying to do things the right way, who aren't effing up to begin with, we're just over here like, okay, well, we just got to do it the so-called normal way, which is literally just spam application after application, only to, like, be left with nothing. And he also shared that, and I said this, like, previously, like, I'm fortunate enough to at least have parents that aren't complete garbo, and they're not willing to, like, throw me out and stuff like that. But I also feel like it's probably because, like, in today's day and age, like, you could probably do some nasty stuff, like, if your parents was about to throw you out or something, like, Because considering just how, like, backed up people are, like, behind rent and stuff like that, like, I mean, if guys really wanted to just be, like, vile, they could probably do it. And I'm not saying that I do it. I'm just saying that I'm at least grateful that my freaking folks aren't, like, so quick to, like, just kind of throw me to the curb. But I don't deny that I do agree with a lot that he said in the video. Like, that there's this inherent clock that begins to tick down in a lot of guys' head because we've been brainwashed by society that we need to, like, so-called produce in society or we're, like, worthless. Meanwhile, you're actually trying to do things the right way to so-called produce, and you get nothing. Even if it's, like, from the most mundane, mediocre, garbage job that, you can think of, you're not really getting any responses at all. And it's a real shame. It's a real shame. But something else that he was talking about was essentially, because I feel like a lot of guys in this community, again, are brilliant, but there's this, like, ego that they begin to get. And even if they say that they don't get it, like, you can pick it up on it. Because, like, he starts talking about, like, science and, like, why he believes that everything's meaningless and stuff like that. Because, like, trust the science, heat death and, entropy and stuff like that. And listen, I don't deny that stuff is truthful. Like, if you do have the tech, yeah, you can see, like, remnants of supernovas and stuff like that, and I don't deny that. But here's my question. Okay, like, I'm going to go on a tangent for a minute, and maybe, like, people aren't going to like the best words that I use, but I really give a rat's arse. Okay, let's say that we believe, into, like, the evolution theory, and I've said it, theory, because I stopped trusting the science the moment that cocksuckers started saying, well, I'm a scientist, but then you call this bastard out and say, okay, how many genders are there? Stay silent. Okay, buddy, you're a scientist, what is your opinion on freaking, degeneracy and stuff like that? Stay silent. And why is this important? Simple, because if you can acknowledge, stuff about the complexities of the cosmos, the complexity of matter and stuff like that. But you also cannot, renounce people who you can obviously see, considering how intelligent you are, who are effing up your culture, and you stay silent on that crap, then yeah. You can't tell me that you're a freaking intellectual, and then you also say, oh, by the way, you should have open borders and stuff like that. Oh, well, that's politics. Oh, no, it ain't. Not at this point. When you got bastards running around here freaking graping kids and stuff like that, and you're over here telling me, well, you see, you gotta be an alt-right. Well, why is it that you have to be subscribed to a side to acknowledge something that is effed up, something that is abominable, something that is an atrocity that is happening? And let's get something straight. No matter what these so-called scientists say, okay, scientists, know this, just like any other aspect of life, they're only doing that for money. There have only ever really been a few people dedicated to science that did that crap because they were actually trying to, understand stuff and whatnot. Because the moment that they realized that they weren't going to get a lot of money doing that stuff, then, yeah, the amount of effort that went into that, like all things, because at the end of the day, in my opinion, no matter what anyone wants to say, human nature rules first. First. Human nature rules first. All of that other crap that you want to say, that crap comes secondary. And I include myself in this. This is why I stay on top of myself. Like, I check myself a lot, guys. I'm always checking myself. And this isn't me saying I'm an ego. I personally hate praise because I know what it does to people, and I know how egos can get out of control. So I do not let myself, get any praise. I don't even want to hear it. Because the thought of being like these people is insane. And I get that even in me saying that kind of makes it like a superiority thing. But it's not even that. It's just like, I don't think I'm better than them. I know I'm not, and I'm scared to become them. It's more like concern that if I don't keep myself in check, I'll find myself being exactly like them. And looking at these people, I do not want to be that. It's not that I'm better than them. I know I'm not, and if I don't catch myself, if I don't keep myself in check, I'll be them. I just don't want that. But that's why I'm telling you, human nature rules first. And these same people that are sitting around here and telling you all this stuff are the same people that can't tell you how many genders there are, refuse to biologically tell you what a man and a woman is, tell you that a baby is a clump of cells, and then these same cocksuckers would literally say, oh, I discovered a fetus on Mars, there's life in the cosmos. What? No. You see, I thought that's a clump of cells. How is it that over here, you're calling your own species, in a freaking mother's womb, a clump of cells. Now you see that same clump of cells, on another planet fossilized. Oh, the life of the cosmos, baby. So, yeah, I stopped trusting freaking science a long time ago. I stopped trusting those suckers. Because I'm going to tell you right now, the only way that you'll ever really know a true scientist at this point is who's in their pockets. And when you're over here getting paid millions of dollars to find out if freaking gerbils are more sexually receptive when they're on crack. I'm sorry to say this, but these cocksuckers are not always to be trusted. And I'm going to get into a little bit of another tangent since I just talked about science, okay? I hate. Oh my god, this dumb arse music. I hope to god that they're about to move the freaking car or something. I hate intellectuals. I hear some people that tell me that they consider me an intellectual. Some people who listen to these videos because my videos, for some reason, sometimes get a little bit of attention. This isn't me saying this because, I'm trying to, make something of myself on YouTube or something. I have no thumbnail. I literally talk into a phone in a parking lot. And sometimes they reach people. There has been a guy that's told me that, he kind of consistently listens to me. He doesn't comment all the time, and, that's fine. I don't really comment all the time myself. But he essentially told me that he's basically, 40-plus years old, I believe, and he listens to me, and I thought that was kind of crazy, that, someone basically dang near twice my age, no offense, buddy, listens to me. But why I'm talking about this is important, because, the intellectuals usually start getting a bit of an ego, and I know I just kind of shared this, but here's why I feel this is important. Because, people have always gotten so snobby because they have access to some kind of knowledge, and they start thinking that, their way of doing things is the only correct way. And this is kind of where I'm going to get into the whole Christ thing, as well as my opinion of reality and existence as a whole. Why is it that these same cocksuckers that can tell you, oh, heat death of the universe, Big Bang, blah 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 blah, evolution, RNG. Okay, hold up. Now, you acknowledge that there's probably like millions of planets and billions and trillions of planets. Maybe some of them hold life. We don't know how many of them hold intelligent life, but you're coming to these like insane conclusions about like the heat death of the universe and all of existence and dark matter and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, just like all things, this is theory. Okay, remember, back in the day, it was considered fact by your so-called scientific community that the Earth was flat, Earth was the center of the cosmos. Now, all of a sudden, we're falling into the same freaking period. Oh, well, it's different now. We've got the telescopes. Yes, but you also inherently make these things written in a way that is complex, just like, the justice system. Why do you think they make things complex? So only they understand it. That's why. Now, some people will argue that even if you give this knowledge to everyone, not many people are going to like care in the same value. And yes, why should they? Why should someone care about the heat death of the freaking cosmos when they're going to be long dead before it even happens? In your own opinion, based off of your theories in mathematics, the sun's gonna like freaking expand and consume the earth by then, and if we haven't gotten off the planet, and I hope to God that we're dead by then, I really do. I don't think that humanity in its current state deserves anything other than annihilation. I don't care what anyone's opinion is on that. I really don't. The thought of these cocksuckers, as we are now, yes, I include myself in that, alright? Freaking colonizing space, and then just having all these rich, snobby arseholes on planet after planet just completely dominating populations. Oh no. Please, meteor, just wipe these suckers out. I'm dead serious. No. The thought of us being in the stars, completely unwilling to like get along down here. Oh no. Like, that's just spreading like unnecessary like war to all these other planets. I really just don't see that happening as a whole though. But here's my thing. If that's really going to happen, why should they care? What is that doing for them in the moment now? These cocksuckers say that stuff, and then it's like, here's my question. Here's another question. You admit that, like, Earth is tiny, the sun is tiny, the cosmos is massive, your place in the solar system in comparison to the galaxy and all this stuff is tiny. Okay. So, with all due respect, let me go ahead and put my Frieza accent on. Maybe not accent, but mindset on. What's a bunch of random monkeys on a planet in a backwater solar system? How is it that you dumb arses think that you got the entirety of cosmos figured out? Oh, science never says that. Show, don't tell. I don't give a rat's arse what your words say. You may verbally say, oh, we don't claim to have the answers, but then when you try and control thought, when you try and say this is the only correct theories that we allow, you will not think otherwise. And no, this isn't about creationalism or anything. This is just facts. Because when you really start like getting in those so-called upper echelons of science and stuff like that, the people who thought that they wanted to be scientists, oh, they're just like children. They're over here arguing and whining. There's people that steal each other's theories. It is literally no different than anything else because, again, I'll say it one more time. Human nature rules first. First, no matter what anyone's opinion is, don't think that because you're so-called, no, I'm a genius. I have an IQ of over 5,000, and I know that that's impossible, but I'm just using this as an example. Don't think that those bastards don't live by the same like rules of human nature that you do. They still get into this ego. They still feel like they're better than you. They still feel like they want to compete with you. Human nature rules first. All that stuff comes second. That's why I keep telling people that, I hold myself to a very, very high standard. Very high standard, because I know that I'm not better. You aren't better. I don't care how much you think you're better. The freaking criminal out here graping someone right now is no better than the so-called preacher that's never done anything, like not giving himself, but like giving all his money to poor people and stuff like that. And I'll tell you why. Because at the end of the day, that's in him. And if he falls in a wrong circle, he will do that. Because that's just people. That's just the nature of people. And unless you keep your nature active at all times, you'll find yourself doing that. When you look at these letters that these like men in the military wrote about how like they did participate in like some of this like struggle snuggle stuff and like the burning of villages, they said that for them it wasn't necessary, and they came back and they regretted it, some of them, It wasn't because they liked doing that. It's because they felt like if they did not do that, then their freaking people would kill them. Fitting in was so important that no matter how obvious that what they were doing was wrong, they'd rather do that wrong thing and fit in than be an individual and stand out and possibly die. So please do not tell me that just because they're so-called intellectuals and they've got an IQ about this small area, because I hate that we make it seem like intelligence is something that you can base like some stupid arts test off of. An IQ and stuff like that, right? In a small area, and, oh, well, therefore, his opinion is more valid. Why? Do you genuinely believe, for example, that, let's say, Einstein, right? Einstein. You think Einstein can't get clapped in science in terms of cooking? Do you think that a chef does not know the science behind cooking better than Einstein? He'd get clapped consistently. You think he wouldn't get clapped in the science and engineering of cars and mechanics? You think he wouldn't get clapped in that? Shove it up your arse. Yeah, maybe he's got them beat in terms of like mathematics and stuff like that and thermodynamics. But to say that one area now defines his entire value to anything as greater than everyone else's because it's a small area. Maybe in that small area, yeah, his input is greater, but not all of freaking life in existence. And that's, for some reason, that's just how humans have always been. This person is mildly profound about a few areas. So therefore, that means that, their opinion is worth more than anything. And listen, I include myself in this, like, some people tell me, like, when they do hear me, because I'm a very quiet person, but, and say that you crack me a little bit, so that, like, you'll have me talk. And people have heard me talk, and they always say it. Like, a lot of people think I'm a bit profound, considering that I live in the neighborhood. So, when you hear a young guy that isn't, like, caring about this stuff, like, it's very strange, and so they find it a bit profound. But here's my thing. The areas that I think about are just areas that I am familiar with. I can't tell someone how to be a parent, for instance, like, I talk about parenting a lot, but I know that I can't ever really tell someone how to be a parent. I talk about, like, parenting usually in the preventative measures and stuff like that, saying that, if you want to be a parent, then, before you become one, you need to decide that that's the most important thing in your life and stuff like that. But I can't tell someone how to be a parent. I can't tell someone how to be a husband. I can't tell someone how to love someone, because I can't freaking do it. I don't freaking sugarcoat it. If there's an area that I don't understand, I'm not going to sit around here and pretend, like, that I understand it and that I have advice for you. Because, like, some people just want to be told, well, not some, most people want to be told what to do. Most people want to be told what the correct answer about life is, because life is very, very burdensome. It's very burdensome, and a lot of people can't deal with it. And so this is kind of how I'm going to draw this back to so-called, the nature of reality. Now, here's me, okay? And you don't have to agree with anything I say, because I'm going to tell you this right now before I say it. I think that you are allowed to believe whatever you want to believe about life. That is your right. No matter what you want to say, no matter if you want to say it's, complete RNG, if there was a creator or if there wasn't a creator, you have a right to feel whatever you want about life. Life is very unfair. Life can F you over, and a lot of times, we're as good as our situation allows us to be. Because as I just shared, like, those soldiers, struggle snuggling those people, they knew what they were doing was wrong, but they were more afraid of not fitting in and possibly dying than they were of, like, the fact that they were doing the wrong thing. But here's the truth. Not true. I shouldn't say truth. Here's my thoughts on the matter, okay? Here's my thoughts. I do think that there is a creator. The reason I think that is because if you're going to tell me that a random explosion in a void of infinite nothingness, like, what triggered the explosion, number one? And number two, how is it that all of the necessary so-called laws, because I'm going to talk about laws in a minute, necessary just for matter to exist, okay? Not organic matter, just inorganic matter to exist, comes into existence at the exact same time that explosion occurs. Do you realize just how RNG that is? I don't think people comprehend that. Then that's not even talking about, like, the friggin' evolution theory. Like, just completely excluding that. Just talking about just, like, existence just no life, just inorganic life. Just the necessary laws for matter to exist. Do people not realize how many forces just bind atoms together and stuff like that? Like, so, no. I don't think that was just like some... My God, freaking idiots. I can't stand them. Like, I don't think that was just some, like, random explosion happening in space, like, I think that there was intelligent design to that. Now, what design do I believe? Yeah, I do think it was, like, Christ and stuff like that. I do. But I also don't deny that, hey, listen, if I was born in, say, like, India, thank God I'm not, quick little joke, man, quick little joke. I'm sure that, like, you guys might have already seen them, like the little Indian street food memes and stuff like that, but if you haven't, dude, go look that crap up, because, like, it's just, like, the funniest song playing over, like, the most disgusting music, and I literally just can't get enough of that meme. Oh, God, is it about to rain right now, dude? It might rain. I might have to move in a second, but... yeah, let me move, but I'm gonna keep talking, alright? Here's the thing. There are a lot of instances where we look at the cruelties of life and we go, what kind of world could exist like this if the creator is so-called intelligent? Because we often think of what we would do in place. But at the end of the day, we use that as a way to say that, well, he doesn't exist, right? Or if he does exist, he doesn't give a rat's arse about anything. But here's my question to that, and this isn't me, because, listen, I'm not some apologist. I don't need to defend anything that is literally beyond me, right? Here's my thing. Okay, well, he doesn't exist. Let's play that game. He doesn't exist. Why are we sitting here and doing nothing? Every one of us is acknowledging the problems that's happening. Every one of us is acknowledging just how unfair life is and stuff like that. But no one does anything about it. We just talk sheep. We all are acknowledging how effed up stuff is, but you're going to sit on your arse, you're going to look at how effed up the world is, and you're just going to say, nothing I can do about it. Why? Oh, because I'm a nihilist, everything's meaningless, and therefore... So, if everything's meaningless, what do you have to lose by trying to change something? Like, you gotta wonder at a certain point, And why are nihilists so afraid of death? That's another question. And again, this isn't me, aha, gotcha. I don't believe that. I don't think it's my place to force anything on you. But I find the complexity of life and the cosmos to be too great to think that it was just like some kind of random RNG event. Do I know everything about the creator? No. And even like that Bible that I do read does literally say, I hate these people, dude. I hate these people with a passion. I hope to God that you can't hear this nonsense that you have to listen to. Well, not that you have to listen to, that I have to listen to like day in out. But basically, even like that Bible essentially says that like there's just certain information that you're just not going to know and that you just can't understand. And I agree, because it's like, realistically speaking, let's say that you ask your parents right now, why did you have me? Are you ever, especially if you're unhappy with life, are you really ever going to be satisfied with the answer that you get? Because they're like, oh, well, we want kids. And you say, why? And they might not even like, dang, he asked why. Like, that's... I hope to God that you guys cannot hear these ratchet arse females. This is... God, I hate these people. But... here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. And I'm trying to focus, because now I gotta listen to these cocksuckers. But, you're not always gonna be satisfied with the answers that you get, right? Because when I did ask, she kind of just said that, oh, like, it just felt natural. She didn't have a plan for me, My father was a complete joke. And, that was that. Did I like the answer? No. I didn't like that, there wasn't any planning that went into this. I don't like that at all. And that was just that. But hey, she's her. I can't really fully understand her. You can think you can understand someone, but you can never really understand them because there's only so much that people tell you. People are not 100% open. There are answers that they might give that they know that people aren't going to respond positively to, and so they kind of just tell you the stuff that they think that they'll be comfortable telling you, and that's it. And you just got to go with it. Just is what it is. And I do understand why people think that, because listen, I personally feel like you absolutely have a right to hold, like, if there is a creator and whatnot. I do think that you have a right to hold them accountable for a lot of the stuff, because if we blame, because listen, we should blame parents a lot. I do think that there should be a law where, if you're constantly making, awful adults, that you have to be held responsible too. Because I can tell you right now, if that was the case, holy cow, the so-called ghettos would be a lot better. All of these sis-tuz and these cunts, they all be locked up where they should be. I said it, where they should be. Because they're out here creating awful people, and there's nothing to go about it, And so, yeah, I understand by that same logic, wanting to hold, the creator accountable. I get that. But I'm also going to be real. People also use that as a way to say, well, in their opinion, either two things. He doesn't exist because life's awful, or if he does exist and life's awful, that he just doesn't give a rat's arse, right? But let's go ahead and say that he doesn't exist. So then why don't we all take action? Why is it that we're all willing to acknowledge what's happening and then no one's willing to do anything? Again, this wasn't how it was. Remember back in the day, where people feel like it was inherently, worse because, like, well, we all, like, believed in some kind of God and stuff like that, for better or worse. They were far more willing to take action than we are now. Maybe you got more knowledge and maybe you're smarter in terms of, like, stuff going on in the world and whatnot, but it has completely pussified you. Big time. You are completely unwilling to take action of any kind, no matter how many injustices you see. And don't get it twisted. I know I've discussed one of the things, so I said, hey, the world doesn't want heroes, don't try and be one. And it's not about trying to be a hero, it's just about trying to make change. Because the fact of the matter is, they always try and tell you that, oh, the way you make change is like, even when you were in school, think about it. Think back, right? Civil rights. Oh, they stayed silent and blah, 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 but they don't show you the riots that happened after he died. Do they? And this isn't like something about blacks and hue whites. This is really just me just talking in general. Every way that you have ever gotten people to change has been with violence. Unfortunately, might does make right. But understand this, might does not mean right. Might makes right because they had the strength to say, all right, listen, this is how it's going to be, and if you got a problem with it, we're just going to deal with you. And so people caught on. And they said, well, yeah, here's what it is. And it would be really nice if people didn't have to respond to that, but unfortunately, that's just how they want to be. So, yeah. And think about it, through the conquest of humanity amongst other cultures, that's how it's always been. Think about it. Ask yourself this. When they killed all the men, why did the women allow themselves to, like, just be mothers to these people? Yeah, they couldn't physically stop their, attackers from sexually assaulting them, right? But considering just how often they would kill their kids in the name of a god, considering their situation and how awful their life is, why would they continuously raise that baby? Oh, well, that might have been their only hope of, okay, so then why not kill themselves? Oh, yeah. Listen, I'm going to go ahead and really ask the hard questions here. And I'll tell you why. Because, again, at the end of the day, might makes right. Whether or not people want to believe that. Might does make right. It doesn't mean that what's happening is right. It just makes right. Because they say or else. That's really just the nature of things. Whether or not people are fine with it is irrelevant. That's just the nature of things. It really sucks that we live in a world where there are a lot more people who have access to this information and are kind of waking up, but they're still completely unwilling to do anything. Like, for a lot of people, they say, well, save yourself. And that's kind of how I feel. You know, I have that opinion, you know, like, I'm willing to spread the information, and I'm also willing to take action. Don't get it twisted. Like, it's not that I need people behind me to do something. I'll say it like this, and I'm going to keep saying this. Let's say that a draft happens right now, and these cocksuckers tell me that it's like jail or the war. I'll lie to them, and I'll act like, oh yeah, I'm going to do something. And then I'm going to gather my stuff, and I'm going to march right into that freaking courtroom, and you fill in the rest. I don't care about life. I will show them, listen, after all the crap that I've been through, and you're going to tell me that I need to go die for you? Oh, no. I'm going to show you what happens. I'm going to show you what happens. And you're not going to like it. Because I don't know why people make it seem like, oh, that person's not a threat. You don't know what's going on in that person. You do not know what they're dealing with. Why is it that these people all have to be these bulking, towering, just chads of men for you to assume that they're a threat? We can get our hands on weapons capable of spewing metal faster than the speed of sound. We can get our hands on vehicles that weigh over 3,000 pounds, can accelerate faster than 100 miles an hour, but we're not a threat? Interesting. But you know what? I think I'm just going to leave it here because, you know, I could keep talking and talking, but that's kind of just something I want to talk about because, you know, after listening to those things, you know, I understand where they're coming from. I understand, like, the heartache that a lot of guys are dealing with because there's always this pressure put on you. And I'm telling you guys, I can't stress this enough. Stop trying to be Atlas. F these people. I don't care. F them. F them. I mean it. F them. Stop caring about what these people want for you, and they're not willing to do anything for you. Oh, yeah, but this is not fair, man. I need to produce. I know. I need it too. And it's not because I need to produce for the sake of society. It's just like for me. You know, I do not like just being in my room and living the same day over and over and over again. I don't like it. But right now, it's all I've really got. And even if I did have a job, it's not going to change. It's not going to change. I'm still going to do that. It's just going to change differently. I'm just going to be punching a clock. But I'll tell you what, I'm doing that for a season. I'm not doing that forever. You know, I certainly do not plan on, like, you know, working myself to death and stuff like that. That's why I'm saying, like, you know, like, this knowledge is, in my opinion, a good thing. I know a lot of people don't want to believe that it's a good thing. It is a good thing. But you need to make necessary changes to your life. Again, if possible, because I'm not going to pretend like I can make these changes right now, as I am currently. You need to make the necessary changes to, like, benefit from them. Because listen, maybe you want, again, a family. Good, that's fine. But you need to know what you're getting yourself into. You have a right to know. You're going to be a freaking pack mule. If you're fine with being a pack mule, alright, God bless you. If you're not fine, move on from that. There is still plenty to do with your life. I don't know why people feel like it is impossible now. That was not how it's ever been. Plenty of guys across history just said, hey, listen, they just didn't have the funds to raise a family, and so they just freaking adventured and they explored and they saw the world. You know, went to their brothels, did all kinds of stuff. This idea that you are doomed because you don't have a family or something like that, or you don't have a job right now, like, no, man, F that. There is more to life than just freaking going to a 9-to-5, slaving away, coming home, barely being around your kids and having them get freaking indoctrinated at school. There's more to life. There's more to life than just being a freaking family man, dude. Yeah, I said it. Let's say that you do get the freaking family. There's more to life than that, too. There's more to life. There's more to the human experience. I think that this information is a good thing. I like that the information is out there. But I also acknowledge that there are plenty of people that cannot handle knowledge. It's like some Bloodborne crap, where it's like you get a little bit of insight, and the skull's like just like slightly cracked, and then they get like, what is it, Madman's knowledge, and the skull is like just freaking blown open, you know, because they like can't handle it. That's basically what's going on here, you know. Too many of these fellas, they take too much of the knowledge, and they get like 99 insight, and they get frenzied. But it's I do still think it's positive, you know. I do still think it's positive. But that's all I had to say, folks. Hope you guys at least got something out of this. And, you know, let me know your thoughts on stuff like that. Because we could just have, you know, all these conversations. Now I got nothing better to do. About, like, life. And the cosmos. All that stuff. existence as a whole, feel free to share it. I'd be quite interested. And like I said, so long as you're, respectful. Well, you can be disrespectful a little. I don't care. But, so long as it's not like you're trying to, like, make it seem like your way's the only way or my way's the only way, I'm more than willing to, like, hear it out. So, look forward to that. Hope you guys enjoyed, got something out of it. God bless. I'll see you in the next one.